Good day. Today our group will be discussing Seberang Perai, its history, etymology, geography, attractions, and cuisines. Seberang Perai, also known as Penang Mainland, is a Malaysia city located in the state of Penang. It is located on the Malay Peninsula opposite Penang Island and is bordered to the north and east by Kedah and to the south by Perak. The heart of the city is in Butterworth, and the Serbang City Council is located close to Bukit Meterjang. Penang has a population of 1.7 million, has beautiful scenery, and a handful of activities to participate in, whether it be for leisure or for peace of mind. Seberang is the perfect place.
Seberang Perai has a long and rich history. Earliest records show it being inhabited 5 to 6,000 years ago, with much later evidence suggesting that the Seberang Perai was controlled by an early Hindu-Buddhist political entity in what is now Kedah. Thus, historically, Seberang Perai was part of Kedah. The arrival of the British marked the beginning of its modern history. Penang Island, as a colony, was founded in 1786, having been ceded to the British by the Kedah Sultanate. Seberang Perai, formerly known as Province Wensley and was to encompass mainland Penang, was founded in 1800. From then on, it would become the Rice Bowl of Penang, becoming a major agricultural center as well as becoming a major transport hub with the establishment of Buttersworth. During World War II, it was one of the few places to be invaded first, being a British colony and home to several divisions of the British Army. It was later liberated by the British in September 1945 and was placed under military administration for 1 year. In modern times, Seberang Perai has now become the industrial center for Penang, being home to Penang Port. In addition to this, several infrastructure projects that improve connectivity propelled Seberang Perai to what it is now, a highly urbanized center home to 800,000 people and plenty of cultural and natural sites.
In the current Malay language, Penang is derived from the term Pulau Penang, which literally translates as a recognized island known as the Pearl of the Orient and the Island of Pearls. Penang is also known as the Pearl of the Orient. Penang mainland, also known as Seberang Perai, is the state of Penang's mainland component. Seberang Perai, which is often spelled Seberang Perai, is another name of it in Malay. Penang mainland occupies the strip of territory once designated as Province Wellesley by the British. Seberang Perai Utara, Seberang Perai Tengah, and Seberang Perai Selatan are the three administrative districts on the Penang mainland today. The flag's colors are derived from the tinctures of Penang's coat of arms, which King George VI restored in the 1940s. The light blue color represents the water that surrounds Penang's island, while white represents serenity and yellow represents the state's prosperity.
Now I'll be talking about the geography of Penang. Penang, also known as Penang Island or Malay Penang, is a Malaysian island located in the Strait of Malacca of the northwest coast of peninsular Malaysia. It is separated from peninsular Malaysia by a narrow strait with a maximum width of 2.5 miles, which is 4 kilometers. The form of Penang Island is basically oval. It features a hilly interior, the highest point being 2,428 feet, and is surrounded by narrow coastal plains which are most extensive in the northeast, where Malaysia's main port, Georgetown, takes use of the sheltered harbourage of inside the strait. Penang, once one of Asia's largest shipping ports, is now one of Malaysia's most popular tourist attractions, with luxury and resort hotels primarily along the north coast. The Strait settlements were formed in 1826 when Penang, Malacca, and Singapore marched together. The island, known as Prince of Wales Island until after 1867, was completely uninhabited at the time and provided great shelter and water for sailing vessels traveling between India and China. It swiftly drew a diverse community of Chinese, Indian, Sumatrans, and Burmans, outpacing any other trading port in Western Malaya. From the mid-19th century, Penang became a commerce and transit point for the mainland's prized tin and rubber. Although Malay influence, culture, and economic life persisted in the countryside, they nearly vanished in the urban and port areas where Penang became primarily Chinese in ethnicity and European in style and viewpoint. Penang joined the Federation of Malaya, which eventually became Malaysia in 1948. Beginning in the late 1970s, the island became a center of industrial growth and tourism began to flourish around 1990. Penang was struck by a tsunami in December 2004 that was sparked by an earthquake in the Indian Ocean near northwestern Sumatra, Indonesia, killing several dozen people but causing only minimal destruction of property. The population of the island is agriculturally active, growing rice, vegetables, and fruits. The manufacturing of mainly electronics and tourism are increasingly key economic drivers. The rain shadow of the hilly interior influences the occurrence of rain during the alternating northeast and northwest monsoon winds.
Now for gastronomy. It is without a doubt that Malaysia's culinary spectrum defies all borders, with flavors that inherit its influence from Indian, Chinese, and Malay cultures and traditions. A notable dish that is unique to Pulau Pinang and attracts tourists nationwide is Penang Hokkien Mee. It consists of a prawn and pork rib broth that is then ornate with wheat noodles, eggs, fresh prawns, sliced pork, fried anchovy, sprouts, and the staple condiment, sambal. The dish shares its roots with the Hokkien community in Penang, who emigrated from the Fujian province in China many decades ago. This dish represents decades worth of family tradition, the story of mass migration, and the local ingredients that create a hearty and flavorful dish for everyone to enjoy. Paired with this, the quickest fix for the blazing Penang heat, chendol. Although chendol can be found in practically any coastal area of Malaysia, Penang is usually the place to be to enjoy the best fresh homemade chendol by some of the most renowned hawker stations in the nation. Chendol is essentially made up of palm sugar and coconut plant, garnished with red bean, green rice jelly, mangoes, and chilled sweetened condensed milk for that refreshing sweet kick. That is all for gastronomy, and I'll be passing it on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. So I'm going to bring you around Penang Island and show you some local parks here. Alright, so for the first one is Bukit Mertajam Recreational Forest. If Penang Hill is like the island's green lung, well, the Seberang Perai counterpart is Bukit Mertajam Recreational Forest. At 545 meters, the dome-shaped summit, also known as Tokun or Tokun Hills by locals, is like the highest point on mainland Penang. It stands over the broad flat around it and making it prominent from miles away and home to some of the best walks on the Penang mainland. The climb to the summit itself is a maze of trails that can be completed in as little as 1 hour 20 minutes or as a strenuous full day loop that includes the nearby peaks. All right, the second one is Frog Hill. Frog Hill is a water-filled former mining site that became famous on Instagram when a local Chinese called it Penang Chuchai Ko. Frog Hill's observation hill is encircled on 3 sides by magnificent water pools with a road. If you turn around, you can see the Bukit Mertajam Recreational Forest, the local parks that we talked about before, rising above a carpet of palm oil and forest. On a clear day, the water pools will change color from dark gray to this color. It's called Viridian, Aqua, or turquoise. The water is extremely clear and creating an almost dreamlike scene. And last but not least, it's Mengkuang Dam. The Dam Areas Park is a popular spot for recreation, and it's one of the places to hold the annual Penang International Dragon Boat Festival. The festival itself is a riot of color and noises with traditional built boats racing through the water of the dam, cheered on by thousands of the onlookers. The race begins when the helmsmen striking their drums slowly as the boats passing the finish line. The beat builds steadily, getting faster and faster until it reaches crescendo. The intricate and painted dragon on the prows of the boats contribute to the festival's excitement.
Seberang Perai is the mainland section of Penang State. Though the state is almost synonymous with Penang Island, There are still many incredible places to visit in Seberang Perai as well. Besides the usual historic and recreational Seberang Perai tourist attractions, there are several nature spots for exploration and hiking trails, which are also popular among things to do in Seberang Perai. Here are several tourist attractions in Seberang Perai that you can visit. First, we have Butterworth Temple of Nine Emperors, or Tu Bukong Temple. This temple is one of the most distinctive Taoist temples in Malaysia. This temple is located in Jalan Raya Uda, Butterworth, and stands on a land area of 40,000 feet. Every year, Tu Bukong Temple celebrates the Nine Emperor Gods Festival. This festival is held from the 1st till the 9th day of the 9th month of the Chinese lunar calendar. Next, we have Penang Bird Park. Penang Bird Park is the first and largest bird park in Malaysia. This park is 5 acres big and has a collection of more than 300 species from all over the world, of which more than 150 species are of Malaysian species. More than 3,000 birds are carefully selected and scientifically housed in more than 150 cages for breeding and conservation purposes. And the last one we have Auto City. Auto City is deemed as one of the island's foremost modern tourist destinations. It is a one-stop complex for shopping avenues, food and beverage outlets, and houses more than 30 brands of automobiles. It is also a favorite outdoor event venue for concerts, roadshows, carnivals, exhibitions, and more.
That brings us to the end of this video. Hope you've had fun touring Seberang Perai with us and hope you are more familiar with Penang now. Thank you.